Hello, good evening, everyone. It is a cozy but low-key, high-key, very stressful night. Fun fact, it is currently 10 p.m. right now, and I leave for a flight to Morocco at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's exciting. That's a new development. I'm actually so excited. So what a fun and best circumstance and time to be filming a new video. Like right now, I feel burnt out and tired and exhausted because I spent my whole evening packing and planning and prepping. I still have a couple more things that I have to do left. I don't know why I put myself in this position. Actually, no. I do know why I put myself in this position, and that is because I have chronic procrastination problems where I save everything for the last minute and then I reap the consequences of my own actions. But either way, update, I am going to Morocco tomorrow to visit my friend Amaya. You guys have seen her so many times in my videos. Also, this video, I definitely understand if you're like, whoa, what the heck is going on here? And it's because, you know what, y'all? I want to bring back old school YouTube. I miss old school YouTube. Let's bring her back, please. Please. The next video I'm gonna make is literally gonna be a DIY EOS like jelly gummy lip balm tutorial. So stay tuned for that. Be ready for that because it's coming, okay? Either way, the long story short, I really want to post more and I want to just like get more comfortable with chatting on camera, letting loose, improving that skill set, if you will, and being less hard on myself with my editing. Sometimes I get in my head and I feel like I don't have anything important to say. So like, what's the point of making a video at all? Which is a very reductionary mindset to have. So I'm trying to approach YouTube and making videos with a new perspective. I've also recently been extremely inspired by Asia Ray. She started making videos again, and I just love all of her videos so much. The way she delivers stories and the way she talks to the camera is so like deadpan and funny, and she can keep me sat and engaged for like a 20-minute video of her rambling. So needless to say, because nothing is original anymore, I am literally here to copy and paste what she is doing. I'm just kidding. But actually though, let's get back to the topic of this video. Yeah, I'm going to Morocco tomorrow. I'm very excited, but I'm also slightly nervous. Not because of the traveling or anything. My bitch ass is not nervous about that. You know what I am nervous about? The fact that after I'm done with this trip, the next time someone asks me, oh, what's new? What's going on? I can't say, oh, I'm about to go to Morocco. I'll be like, you know, freshly after the trip, I could be like, you know, it was such a cool trip. Like, blah, blah, blah. This is what I did. But like, well, after the trip happens, what am I gonna say? What am I gonna say to people when they ask me what's new and when they ask me what's going on? Like, I appreciate that people wanna know. But honestly, to be honest, I definitely know too. All of you post-grads know exactly what I am talking about. Whenever people ask me what's going on with me, what's new, what do I have going on, blah, 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 I don't have an answer. It's the same thing every single time. Like, I don't know how to answer that question. I'm like, I mean, I don't have much going on. I wake up at the butt crack of dawn. I drive a crazy commute to my job. I work. I come back home. I eat dinner. I sleep, and then I do it again. It's very mundane. There's not much going on except for this trip, which I'm so excited about. But yeah, that was low-key, high-key, a very big theme when I was like catching up with all of my family friends who are all my age during Eid. Like, the biggest question we all had for each other was, what do you have going on? What's new? Because mind you not, this is like the first time we see each other after over a year, right? And are we actually being honest in these conversations? To be fair, like, there are things that are going on in my life that I could give people updates on. Like, I could say, hey, I started therapy and it's super awesome and my therapist thinks I have ADHD. I could say that. But that might make things a little awkward. Another random topic that like came up in these conversations during the Eid family functions, catching up with people, was the topic of children at weddings. And you know what? I've been thinking about this topic a lot because one of my friends, she's getting married, right? And you know one thing I actually love about being the friend that is like not close at all to being married and having a friend that is having a wedding coming up soon? I love listening to the wedding lore. I love listening to the wedding drama. Tell me what's going on. You got this dress? No freaking way. So-and-so's doing what at the bachelorette party? No way. The venue costs this much? No way. Anything under the sun, I'm here for it. I am sat. I have popcorn ready to go. I'm here to listen, right? And so my friend was explaining to me how she sent out her save the dates. And in her save the date, she explicitly said, no kids allowed. And I'm like, queen, you do you. Your wedding, your rules, go right ahead. Who am I to judge and who am I to say no? I'm sad. Either way, she was telling me that she had a family member call her up and ask her verbatim, oh, hey, queen, can my 7 kids come to your wedding? I'm sorry, 7 kids? Can my 7 kids come to your wedding? Then she was like, I mean, no, it's no kids at the wedding. I sent the save the dates out with that explicit rule out there. And then the person who asked if they could bring their kids to the wedding got personally offended that my friend didn't want her 7 children at her wedding. But like, what an odd request to someone to just be like, hey queen, I know you're paying for this entire event. Can you pay for 7 more people? That's crazy. Like, you know, I thought asking for a plus one when you weren't given one is a stretch, but 7 kids to a kid-free wedding? Psh, that's some craziness right there. And you know what? Maybe this is a random video topic that I am talking about, but I do have to say, I am in support of child-free weddings, okay? There was once a time in my life where I was the child that ruined the vibes of the wedding. And because of that, I support it if you don't want my silly ass at your wedding. Like, I get it. Basically, this is what happened. When I was a wee little lad, I think like 3 or 4, like I was very, very young. My family, we took a trip to the UK because a distant cousin of mine were getting married in London. What a fun, fantastic time. I was at the time of my life where I could not care less that I was at a wedding. I'm just here. I'm just existing, right? And the only thing I remember from that trip, because I was so young, was the fact that like the outlets were like different shapes than the outlets in the US. And then also the fact that I ruined a wedding and what I did, what my 3-year-old self decided to do. I remember low-key the feeling and the event that occurred that caused me to ruin said wedding. I couldn't tell you what was going on in my brain though. So let me paint the picture, okay? The very blurry, rough picture, if you will. But we were at this wedding venue. I was crawling around on the floor. I think we were like in the lobby or something like that. I don't even know. But all I distinctly remember is that there were coins on the floor. And now, this is gonna have to be a scenario where we listen and we do not judge. Please, because there's gonna be some vulnerable information I'm putting out there on the internet. Why would I do it? For the sake of entertainment. For the sake of entertainment, because who am I but not to entertain? Either way, we listen and we don't judge, but my baby self, I saw those coins on the floor and I was like, that looks like it could go in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Not to like eat it for a snack, but you know how kids be putting things in their mouths, right? So I put this coin in my mouth and I still remember, like that is probably one of the only other things I remember, the sensation of the coin going down my throat and like gulping it and like the process in my brain being like, ooh, I was not supposed to do that. And so naturally, I started crying. I had a meltdown because I was freaked out. And, you know, my little self was very scared, very worried. And my poor mother, she had to take me out of the wedding and we had to go to like an urgent care. And long story short, I'm still here standing and I'm fine. But yeah, I ruined a wedding because I swallowed a penny off the ground. That was me. And you know what was so funny? To tie this all back to the Eid family function, not only did we talk about the 7 children wedding incident and just the topic of kids at weddings. But naturally, it came back up of like, Lara, weren't you also a kid that ruined a wedding? And I had to own it. I had to be like, yeah, I was. So, I walk through this world with like a newfound confidence of, yeah, I was a child that ruined a wedding, and that's okay. But, yeah, that was a really random, funny story, I guess. I hope y'all found that entertaining. Those are the current thoughts in my brain. But yeah, so I guess updates with me. I'm going to Morocco. My therapist thinks I have ADHD, and I was a former child that ruined a wedding. I should probably go to bed now. That would be a good idea. And honestly, I think the next time you'll see me, I'll be in Morocco. But peace. Thanks for listening to my late night thoughts.